Good evening, everybody, and welcome to this evening's severe weather update. So, relentless severe weather continues as we have an enhanced risk of severe weather tomorrow across most of Oklahoma into far northern Texas, western Arkansas, far southern Kansas, and the far eastern Texas panhandle. We have a slight risk extending from eastern Colorado across southern Kansas, southwest Missouri, central Arkansas, into northern Texas in the yellow, as well as most of Florida, southeast Mississippi, southern Alabama, southwest Georgia in the yellow, and a marginal risk across the southern plains into the deep south in the dark green. And thankfully, it looks like tomorrow's tornado threat is going to be very low, where we only have a 2% chance of tornadoes touching down within 25 miles of a location in this green area across southeastern Colorado, southwest Kansas, the Oklahoma and Texas panhandles. Unfortunately, this 2% tornado risk includes Perryton, Texas, which is still recovering from a devastating tornado that occurred yesterday evening. So make sure you're on guard for a couple of isolated tornadoes once again tomorrow if you live across the western Great Plains. We also have a 2% chance of tornadoes touching down within 25 miles of a location across southeastern Mississippi, southern Alabama, and western Florida. Make sure you're on guard for a couple of isolated tornado spin-ups down here as well. But once again, damaging winds and large hail are going to be a very big problem, where we have a 30% chance of damaging straight line winds of 58 miles per hour or stronger within 25 miles of a location across much of Oklahoma, western Arkansas, far northern Texas, 15% across portions of Colorado, Kansas, Missouri, Arkansas, and northern Texas, as well as most of Florida, southern Georgia, Alabama, and southeast Mississippi, and a 5% damaging wind risk across a large area of the United States in the brown tomorrow. And we have this hatched area across far southern Kansas and central to northern Oklahoma. So if you're in Woodward, Oklahoma, Oklahoma City, Norman, and more, and Tulsa, Oklahoma tomorrow, once again, you have the potential to see damaging wind gusts of over 75 miles per hour. So make sure you're preparing for numerous to widespread destructive winds across central to northern Oklahoma, south central Kansas tomorrow. And unfortunately, we are going to also see a destructive hail threat once again, where we have a 30% chance of quarter-sized hail or larger within 25 miles of a location, covering most of Oklahoma to northern Texas, western Arkansas, far southern Kansas, 15% hail risk across Colorado, Kansas, southwest Missouri, western central Arkansas, northern Texas, as well as Florida, southern Georgia, southern Alabama, southeast Mississippi, 5% hail risk in the brown. And once again, if you live across areas like Dallas, Wichita Falls, Fort Sill, Norman, Oklahoma City, Moore, Tulsa, Woodward, park your cars in the garage tomorrow, as we could be seeing more destructive guerrilla hail of golf ball to tennis ball to baseball, even softball size tomorrow. This very significant hail threat is going to be continuing tomorrow across most of Oklahoma, North Texas, and southern Kansas. So make sure you are taking this hail threat very seriously tomorrow. As we have seen over the last 5 days, hail reports up to 5 inches in diameter. Very destructive. Timing out the storms tomorrow. Storms are going to be mainly occurring in the afternoon tomorrow. We're going to see our first storms potentially around across west central Texas. So if you're even across western and central Texas tomorrow, watch out, as we do have the possibility of severe thunderstorms even down there by 5 o'clock. Going into 6 o'clock, the HRRR model wants to blow up some massive hailstorms between Abilene and Fort Worth into the hill country near Wichita Falls as well. Going into 7 o'clock, we could be seeing big hailstorms moving into Dallas again. Going into 8 o'clock, we're going to see this merge into a very strong, potentially very strong mesoscale convective system producing destructive winds. And then our storms across Kansas and northwest Oklahoma are going to get going by 7 and 8 o'clock tomorrow evening, producing very dangerous winds and destructive hail of golf ball, baseball, softball, tennis ball size. Going into 9 and 10 o'clock, this potential cluster of storms across north and north central Texas. If this develops, this could be producing 70 to 80 mile an hour winds with quarter to golf ball to baseball size hail. So make sure you're really paying attention across North Texas, because we could be seeing this secondary complex develop and moving across the northern Texas. Going into 10 o'clock, northeast Texas towards Texarkana and Longview, you could be seeing very dangerous storms, as well as southern Kansas and northern Oklahoma. Dangerous winds and hail. Going into midnight, we're going to see another very strong mesoscale convective system blasting across southern Kansas and northern Oklahoma. And then going into 1 and 2 a.m., we could be seeing very strong damaging winds moving across Oklahoma City and Tulsa, and even going into 3, 4 a.m., and our secondary cluster moving across Louisiana between midnight and 3 a.m., Mississippi between 4 and 6 a.m., and our main cluster across Oklahoma is still going to be producing major problems as it moves into Arkansas with very strong damaging winds, southern Oklahoma by 4 a.m. This is the middle of the night, and we could be seeing massive hail with wind at the same time across southern Oklahoma, North Texas by 5 a.m., 6 a.m., 7 a.m. Sunday morning before we finally, and even as we go into Sunday morning, we might see the storms finally die down across eastern Louisiana, western Mississippi. So this relentless siege of severe weather is continuing, my friends. So please make sure tomorrow, if you live across the enhanced risk, even slight risk, you are preparing for very dangerous severe weather once again, especially destructive wind gusts and destructive hail. Please stay safe. Have a wonderful evening, my friends.